This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, verse 11 through 13, is I'm going to show a couple of articles that prove plantation Christianity has always been evil to its very core, okay? And those that have participated in plantation Christianity, starting with the wicked Esau, Edom, they're finally being revealed as being liars, bug outs, complete degenerates, okay, low lives, scum. All right. And so, again, that's why I brought out Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11 through 13, because these devils, have been pushing this wicked doctrine for centuries, okay? And they have been teaching lies and then being hypocrites too, not even following their own doctrine. And it's finally catching up to them. The Lord's finally pulling the veil and revealing these wicked people for who they are, because we're in a time of judgment. We're in a time of everything being revealed. This reminded me of the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2. Yep. For there's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Right. The book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2. Okay. So here we go. First article. Assemblies of God churches shielded accused predators and allowed them to keep abusing children. NBC News uncovered a 50-year pattern of sex abuse, silence, and cover-up in the world's largest Pentecostal denomination. Okay? So these devils, okay, and the leadership of these devils, okay, have been covering up their wicked schemes for half a century, okay? And now it's time for them to be revealed, because, again, we're in a time of judgment, all right? And the Lord's revealing everything before he destroys America, Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is one big, wicked, idol, infested cesspool, okay? And the Lord is tired of this place. So look at this. This is all across the country. 50 years of these devils from the leadership on down covering and allowing this shit to go on. A children's pastor was caught filming girls in a church bathroom in Arkansas. Elders suspend him for a week, a few weeks. Elders, okay? That's the leadership, okay? In Illinois, a preacher was accused of sexually abusing children. Church leaders sent him to therapy rather than call the police, okay? Look at that, okay? Now you got these wacky, tacky plantation Christians like that weirdo Vocab Malone, all right, point a finger at us, okay, saying we're doing this stuff, which we're not, okay? But that's what they use, all right? When they can't debunk what we're saying, regarding the scriptures, that salvation is only for the Israelites, and that the Edomites are the so-called white people, okay? And that the Lord ain't dealing with no plantation Christianity, all right? They can't prove us wrong, and so they slander us, all right, and lie. Meanwhile, in their organization, all right, plantation Christianity, okay, they're doing all this wicked stuff. Look at the other one. In California, a worship minister went to prison for molesting boys. His congregation threw him a party when he returned. Whoa, this place is wicked, bro. What the? See, this is why I love bringing out current events, man. I love bringing out current events because this is how I get you motherfuckers, man. All right? I'll use your own current events against you nasty bastards, man. Okay? All of these men remain in ministry in the assemblies of the Most High. Assembly of God. Okay? Because whose God who's the God that they're worshiping? Satan. Okay? The world's largest Pentecostal denomination all went on to abuse more children. You see that? Since the 1970s, okay? This is plantation Christianity in a nutshell, okay? Let's get another scripture. Psalm chapter 7, verse 14. Behold, he travaileth with iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. Right, that's these plantation Christians and these different organizations, okay? If you dig deep enough in these plantation Christian organizations, you're going to find some nasty shit in the closet. Real talk, okay? Yeah, they want to point a finger at us, the Israelites, okay? Okay, all right. First of all, clean up your own house, all right? Get your own house in order before you point the finger at somebody else's house. This is the NLT version. The wicked conceive evil, they are pregnant with trouble, and give birth to lies. Right. These plantation Christians have been giving birth to lies, man. All right. The God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, all right, is not dealing with plantation Christianity. He's dealing with his people, which are the Israelites, okay? He gave his people, all right, us, the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? Then he gave us his only begotten son, who what English calls Jesus, all right? His real name, all right, is Yahushua. That is his true name, okay? Died on the cross for the nation of Israel, all right? And only through him you could be saved, but you have to be an Israelite. And the part that you wacky tacky plantation Christians can't get, and you bugged out jakes that know that you Israelites can't get, only the elect can receive salvation on this side. On this side, okay? Meaning, all right, they're going to be delivered from the destruction. They're going to be saved from the thermonuclear fire that now Donnie, okay, Nero, King Trump, right? Trump authorizes, right? Authorizes nuclear testing. Trump threatens to resume nuclear weapons testing minutes before G meeting. What does Trump mean by nuclear testing? Trump stuns with call to resume nuclear tests. Why now and what it could mean. Trump instructs Pentagon to immediately start testing U.S. nuclear weapons. It's go time, all right? We're here, okay? And you wacky tacky plantation Christians, and you wicked jakes that know that you're Israelites, and you wicked jakes, period, all right, which are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, all right, you're about to eat a nuke real soon, and it's coming, all right, because y'all been lying on the Bible, lying on the words of the Lord, all right. You've been nothing but bad children, rebellious. You gotta go. So let's keep reading this. Psalm chapter 7, verse 15. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made right. Y'all digged your own grave, man. You digged your own pit. Okay? You fell into this. All right? 16. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealings, meaning injustice dealings, shall come down upon his own pate. His own pate. All right? Let me get into this. Let's get to some Hebrew. I said I'm going to start bringing out more Hebrew, all right, in my lessons, all right? Quadah. This is a quad, this is a da, this is a quad, this is a da. Let's bring this out, all right? This is a quad, you see? This is a da, this is a quad, this is a da. Quadah, which means head, crown of head, right? This is falling upon your own head. All right? This is nasty, man. Let's get another article. Donald Trump's advisor regarding the Trump and his spirituality, which you know Trump's spirituality is working the left-hand side. Okay? Trump is all into the secret society, left-hand witchcraft and magic. All right, he is not a so-called what you perceived a Christian. Well, none of y'all are Christians. All right, you're fraudulent. Stop saying you're Christian. Just say you're worshipers of Satan. All right. The real Christians are the Israelites. That's a fact. And being called a Christian was actually a derogatory term. Okay? It wasn't something to self-proclaim, you know, and hold that title to the mountains. All right? It was actually a derogatory term. In fact, let me see if Google AI can bring out the history. Was the word Christian a derogatory term in the beginning? Yes, the term Christian was originally a derogatory term given to followers of Yahushua by their enemies. It was applied to be a marginalized group by those in power who despised the community for opposing Rome's authority, meaning it was initially associated with ridicule and oppression. The term was first recorded in the New Testament book of Acts, which states that the disciples were called Christians in the city of Antioch. There you go. All right, it was a derogatory term. Okay, the Google AI got everything, man. Hey, there's no excuses. That's why you jakes that are in Plantation Christianity, you're gonna die. You're gonna get hit with a nuke. Derogatory meaning. The term was like a slur, a way of those in power to mock and identify a group they viewed as a threat. Right. So there you go. So there's a history on it. So there you go. Look, you got a mega church pastor, an ex-Trump pleads guilty to child sexual abuse. Robert Morris to serve only 6 months. See? All right? 6 months. And this goes to show you, all right, he's part of the cabal, all right, of the elites, because he served 6 months. All right? While anybody else who does this will get years, even football numbers, okay? So, hey, man, this is why this place is full of injustice. It's wicked. It's full of violence. That's why the Lord's going to destroy this place with fire. Okay? Oh, let me play this. Now you're gonna watch somebody chimp out, man. All right, this is plantation Christianity. All right, if you're not doing this, then you're bugging out. All right, and you know what? Let me hold this scripture on deck because they remind me of this scripture. Where is it at? Lamentations. Yup. Guaranteed. This plantation Christian was talking hella, okay, shit to the Israelites, all right? Probably a scoffer. And look, the Lord plagued them in the mind, all right? Check this out. Oh, man, that's plantation Christianity for you.
Okay. So how'd you end up here today?
By the way, this is let me give you a back briefing on this. The police officer got a call that some bugged out plantation Christians claim to be Jesus. Okay, and he's in, and this is, and so the recording begins him, all right, bugging out. All right, watch what he says.
Because I'm Jesus.
See, and that's how you know Jesus can't be his name. All right, Jesus is an idol. All right, Jesus is a fictitious character. How about that? Okay.
Do you have some friends around here or something? I mean, for me to help you, you have to talk to me.
He's trying to choke himself out. I'm telling you, man, the Lord is this is why you got to fear the Lord. You have to fear the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He can make you bug out like this crazy, okay, plantation Christian, okay? I believe he's an Edomite too, all right? He'll make you bug out, choke yourself out, choke yourself with your own, you know? This is why you got to fear the Lord. Oh, man.
Step back. Get back.
And that's why I believe he's an Edomite, because you see how the cop kept his cool. He was able to restrain himself even though he was being attacked. All right, he could have easily put him down. All right, but he didn't, because that's an Edomite. If it was a Jake, if it was a so-called Negro, Latino, and American acting like that, all right, straight up bullets, okay, and toe tag into the morgue. But yeah, and I wanted you to hear them cries, all right, because, hey, there's gonna be more screams and cries just like that before the nukes drop. You're gonna see some scary shit, all right. It's gonna be worse, all right, than a horror movie, okay. Or you clowns, oh, that's nothing. Or you clowns participating today in Halloween, all right. The Lord's gonna give you a real scare, all right. Screams like that, apparitions. The scriptures talk about that, okay. So let me get Lamentation chapter 3, verse 63. Behold, they're sitting down and they're rising up. I am their music. Right. You have a lot of these plantation Christians that scoff, that talk shit behind closed doors. All right. And the Lord's revealing them as being a wicked, okay, bug outs. All right. And I'm showing you just various articles and videos to just prove my case. Okay. Because that's how I like to get down. I like to show it in color. All right. That the scriptures, what the scriptures are talking about. That's what we do at Great Millstone, okay? We prove all things. We know plantation Christianity, all right, is not the truth. We know that for a fact, okay? And we like to bring it out time and time again just to remind all you clowns that are still in that, okay? That still hold that shit, all right? as if this is going to be what's going to get your ticket to be delivered from the thermonuclear fire. Okay, and again, y'all been talking shit. You've been running your mouths, and now the Lord's judging. 64. Render unto them a recompense, O Yahweh, according to the works of their hands. That's right. So the Lord sees everything. 65. Give them sorrow of heart, thy curse unto them. Right. And there you go, man. The Lord plagued this guy, gave him a sorrow of heart. Okay. All right. Put a heavy curse on him. Had him choke himself out. Had him throw himself on stairs. Okay. All right. Had him try to stab himself with a crucifix. Yeah. That's a curse, man. That's a curse. Now you know what a curse is. Okay. It ain't shit, fuck, bitch. Okay. What you just saw on this video is a curse. 66. Persecute and destroy them in anger from under the heavens of the Lord. Right. So the Lord's going to do it. He's got America in his crosshairs. The Lord's going to fuck this place up, man. All right. I see it. This is going to be worse than any horror movie, any apocalyptic movie ever, man. Oh, I got to bring out the economy because, you maggot plantation Christians, all you do is think about money, all right, and how to, get prosperity. Let me show you something. Let me show you what the Lord is doing to this place. Maggots. Drought is quietly pushing American cities towards a fiscal cliff, right, meaning higher taxes, all right, and cutting of government programs. Droughts, okay? It says the city of Clyde sits about 2 hours west of Fort Worth on the plains of North Texas. Right, Texas is constantly getting hit with droughts and all types of storms. All right, because you people in Texas are proud as fuck, Lone Star State. All right, and of course you got Texas has a big plantation Christian group, from various denominations. So that's why the Lord be jacking up Texas. And you clowns can't see it. All right? The Lord be fucking Texas up, man. It gets its water from a lake by the same name a few miles away. Starting in 2022, scorching weather caused its levels to drop further and further. Right. And this is during the pandemic. All right? This is when they were forcing, a lot of people to take that jab. All right, yeah, even in Texas, all right, goes to show you that you don't have trust in the Lord. Okay, you trust in what's it called, sorcery and witchcraft, man, with these pharmaceutical companies. All right. It says scorching weather caused its level to drop further and further. Within a year, officials had declared a water conservation emergency. And on August 1st of last year, they raised the warning level again. That meant residents rationing their spigot use even more tightly, especially lawn irrigation. Can't even water your own lawn. The restrictions weren't, however, the worst news that day. The city also missed 2 debt payments. Municipal bond defaults of any kind are extraordinarily rare, let alone those linked to a changing climate. But with about 4,000 residents and an annual budget of under $10 million, Clyde has never had room to absorb surprises. So when poor financial planning collided with the prolonged dry spell, the city found itself stretched beyond its limits. There you go. The drought meant that Clyde sold millions of gallons less water, even as it imported more of it from a neighboring Abilene at about $1,200 per day. Worse, as the ground dried, it cracked, destroying sewer main and bursting another $250,000. The Lord is plaguing America. The Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel. That's another thing I keep saying. The God of Israel, the God of Israel. The God of Israel is judging America. Hole in the town budget. Within days of Clyde missing his payments, rating agency Standard & Poor's slashed the city's bond rating, which limited its ability to borrow more money. Within weeks, officials had hiked taxes and water rates to help staunch the financial bleeding. Right, because whenever they're in debt, who's got to pay this debt? The taxpayer. So how are they gonna get the taxpayer to pay it? By raising taxes. Okay, and that's judgment. Okay, so hey, got to bring out this scripture. You can read this article. All right, hey, it's a fiscal cliff, man, and this is just one American city. All right. There's many American cities. Look, California. You got Naples, Florida. I mean, this whole article goes in. This is a badass article, man. All right. And the scriptures talk about it. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 38. A drought is upon her waters. They shall be dried up. For it is a land of graven images, like plantation Christianity. All right. Baby Jesus. And they are mad upon their idols, right? They're in love with these idols. That's why the Lord keeps jacking them up. And you can't tell a plantation Christian they're off. All right. They'll look at you and say you're part of a cult. Okay. That's how bugged out in the mind they are. All right. Yeah, you can ask some specific questions regarding the scriptures. They can't answer it. All right. Or they go to John 3:16, which they don't even know what that means. All right. So that goes to show you they're mad upon their idol. I mean, they're in love with their idols, man. And that's why the Lord keeps pounding out this place, America, because these wacky, tacky, freak plantation Christians. So, yeah. Got to bring out Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from... You know what? Woo-hoo, I jumped it. I jumped the lamb. I'm sorry. Salakia. Got to get this part right here. Isaiah chapter 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. That's a plan. When you read that scripture, think about how these plantation Christians be moving, man. They move just like that. Okay, you can't tell them nothing. You can show them scripture. You go. You could go with this. Just you don't even have to go into words, which you should go into words. You should. I mean, the scriptures were written. The Old Testament was written in Hebrew. The New Testament was written in Greek. You should go into these words. All right, but just go to like James 1:1. I always like going to that one because it's plain. And James is the brother to Yahushua. James 1:1. The very first verse. Okay, and this is a letter. So when you write a letter, you're writing who you're addressing this letter to. It says to the 12 tribes of Israel which are scattered abroad, greeting. And these plantation Christians, they want to avoid that. They want to skip over that. They don't want to. They literally have been blinded to a simple scripture like that. Oh, another favorite of mine. Romans chapter 9, verse 13. Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. They'll jump over that. Okay? Totally avoid it. All right? They are prideful. Okay? And they are perverted in the spirit. And you see their works. And the Lord be revealing them. Because pride puffeth up, man. 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right, the destruction. And it's coming. That nuclear missile is coming. Trump orders the Department of War to start testing nuclear weapons. I mean, again, immediately. Because what happened? Vladimir Putin from Russia was testing all his new nuclear technology. There's one that cruise missile that can be in the air for over, I think they said 15 hours, probably more. Could just be in the air for 15 hours. All right? And can hit anywhere on the planet. All right? Okay? So, and so now America's like, yo, we got to start testing. Well, they've been testing, but now they're saber rattling. Now they're openly telling the whole world, all right, we're testing too. All right? But they've been testing because they've been testing on the ground. That's why we got a lot of these earthquakes. All right? But they won't tell you that on mainstream media. You got to put the pieces together. But yeah, we're here because, again, what is this all leading to? The destruction of Babylon the Great America. All right? Because you could, that's another thing. You wacky, weirdo military personnel at the Pentagon, right? That I remember, and you're not exempt either. You're wicked too, right? Pentagon, child pornography, right? right. Pentagon workers. Watch, right? Hold up. Put this. Pentagon workers found to have downloaded child pornography. Dozens of staff and contractors with high-level security clearance put at risk of blackmail by their sex crime. All right? This is why you don't see the Jeffrey Epstein list, because Jeffrey Epstein got these military personnel too. All right? The Jeffrey Epstein and his cohorts. All right? Because Jeffrey Epstein wasn't by himself. All right? He was part of the Mossad cabal. All right? That's why them JJs control America. All right? But anyway, point is, all right, you wicked Pentagon officials, you're not exempt either. You're into weirdo activity too. America is one big freak show, man. And the Lord is exposing it by using us, the prophets. So there you go. All right, that's why this place is going to get lit up by fire. And you're not going to be able to stop the Russian nukes and the Chinese nukes and the Iranian nukes and your own allies, NATO. The beast shall hate the whore. Okay, NATO's going to not rock America too with nukes. You best believe it. All right, it's coming. So there you go. Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail. Right. So the Lord's mocking you. All right, everything y'all doing, all this child sacrifice, all the weird porno shit that you've been doing has not stopped you, okay, from preventing America's downfall. It's only been speeding it up, assholes. Fucking idiots. All right, 13. Thou art wearied in the multitudes of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargaters, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Right. You look at the stars, you look at all these different zodiac signs, and then we're thinking that, by worshiping that, all right, and taking heed to what those stargazers be saying, you think you're going to prevail, and you're not. In 14, it says it right here. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Right. You see that? America is set to be destroyed with nuclear fire. The reason why America hasn't been hit with nuclear fire yet, because we're waiting on you assholes to push the chip, the mark of the beast, which is coming. All right? We know you're bringing it. Stop pussyfooting. Stop prolonging it. Hurry up. All right? And let's get the show on, man. Stop fucking around, man. All right? I'm telling you devils straight up, man. I'm like, yo, the longer you keep procrastinating this, the more the slavery is going to be, worse for y'all, all right? It is going to be worse regardless, all right? But y'all keep procrastinating, thinking that, all right, if you just take your time, you're going to be able to have your New World Order foolproof. No, you're not. Okay? Once you make the chip mandatory, that's it. You're going to lose it all, man. Okay? And you are losing it all. That's why you're building bunkers. All right? So stop fucking procrastinating. Let's go. 15. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. None shall save thee. Right. And if you get into the NLT version, it says, and all your friends, those whom you've done business since childhood, will go their own ways, turning a deaf ear to your cries. Right. Okay? And no one's going to be able to save America. All right? They're going to just cry that they're not going to be able to make money anymore, but they're not going to be able to save you. So, yeah. Okay, so, and again, the focus of this lesson is that America, claims to be a plantation Christian nation, but they're not, man, okay? They don't practice what they preach. They're wicked and sickos and bug-outs. And I just showed a couple of articles to prove that. So, Lord willing, as edifying, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. For the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. And when you pray with your head covered. Shalom. You already know. Shalom.